Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan, and if you didn't know, now you know. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have some big news to cover as cryptocurrency continues to dominate the world of finance and sports to levels like we have never seen before. We have a lot packed in this episode of Crypto News. We have D1 athletes accepting multiple different forms of cryptocurrency as payment, and we have restaurant owners of these massive chains that we're going to talk about starting to accept a Bitcoin transaction in payment for their meals. So if that sounds interesting at all, make sure you guys stick around for the entire length of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. But let's go ahead and dive on into this one. So number one, America's favorite football player, depending on what side of the spectrum that you are on, Trevor Lawrence, is now going to be partnering with Blockfolio and accepting a large signing bonus in cryptocurrency. Now he's going to be accepting this between three different cryptocurrencies. The first one, of course, being Bitcoin, the second one being Ethereum, and the third one being Solana. Now, the Solana surprised me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. It's a really cool cryptocurrency. One of my friends has talked to me a lot about it, but I was still surprised to see something that was not quite as mainstream on this list. But here we go. He is going to be building this portfolio inside of his Blockfolio with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Now, this talks about it a little bit more, and he's going to be signing a multi-year partnership to start off his career. You know, now that he has gone from his college football to his pro scene, he is expected to be the #1 draft pick in the NFL. This is going to be quite the standard because there's another already existing NFL player who's going to be accepting Bitcoin as his main payment, as we'll cover in just a second. Something I wanted to note here is the global cryptocurrency investment app will pay what is termed as a significant signing bonus to the former Clemson quarterback entirely in digital currency deposited directly into his Blockfolio account. So this is really cool. We are starting to see cryptocurrency and Bitcoin become increasingly more mainstream every day. A lot of people have said that you know when to sell Bitcoin because you won't have to sell it. You'll just be able to exchange it. And at that point, that's when the Bitcoin is actually useful as a transaction method. That's when the desired is. Second one, we have Bitcoin is the future, as the Chiefs' Sean Chulkin, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, is now going to be accepting his salary entirely into crypto. So his 2021 salary is going to be converted into Bitcoin, and he is going to be receiving $920,000 in Bitcoin as his payment. A lot of people thought that he was going to do this like half and half, like half USD, half Bitcoin, just because Bitcoin isn't globally accepted at every single store yet. People like to have some cash on hand, but I guess if you're a professional athlete, you have a lot more ways to earn money than just your average salary. I'm sure that there's endorsements and stuff, but this is along the same lines of what Trevor Lawrence is doing, but taken to the next level. Trevor Lawrence is taking this to the one side of the coin, saying, I want my endorsement money to be paid in cryptocurrency, and the flip side of that coin is I want my salary to be paid in cryptocurrency. So now that we are seeing athletes, whether that is the stadium or payment to entry being accepted in the Bitcoin, that's happening now. Whether it is a salary being paid in cryptocurrency, that's happening now. Whether it's even the endorsements that are being paid and your ads that are getting paid in cryptocurrency, that is now happening now as well. And we are seeing the three tiers of adoption that a lot of people have been talking about since Bitcoin was created. So now that is coming to the forefront, again, it's massive news for the long term and longevity of Bitcoin. If people think that this is going anywhere and throw the institutional money of the giant banks and Fortune 100 companies that have already gotten into it, now we have a lot of the sporting industry that is already so heavily entwined, whether that be the franchises, the teams, and now the players. So we will see how this continues to go. I know I didn't get to scroll through this article too much because I was ranting, but this is something really cool for Bitcoin, and definitely recommend checking these articles out. But I want to get into the last topic of this episode of Crypto News, and that is going to be Tillman Fertitta. Again, I hope I pronounce his name right as well. I know that he is a pretty wealthy man, but he is saying that most of his restaurant brands will soon be accepting Bitcoin as payment. Now, this would be the next step. One of the biggest things that people wish that they could spend cryptocurrency at is things like the grocery store, the drugstore, restaurants. If you could spend cryptocurrency as easily at those kind of mainstream places, then that would be something else. If they were to accept the Bitcoin, a lot of the ways that people have to transact Bitcoin right now to these stores is with one of like their cryptocurrency credit or debit cards, which is like converting it to USD and paying out the store that way. But if the stores were actually accepting physical Bitcoin, then that would be the next step in this. Now, if you guys don't know who he is a billionaire. A couple of stats that talks about this, and a couple of the key points. Tilman Fertitta said that most of his restaurant brands will accept Bitcoin in the coming months. It's amazing how simple the transaction is and how that it's here to stay. It also notes that he is, again, a billionaire, and not everyone buys into Bitcoin as a means of everyday transaction because it's volatile and it has tax implications, which is one of the big talking points right now, because the current administration within the United States is theorizing, I think that's the safest way to say this, some very heavy cryptocurrency taxes that could potentially be coming. Now, everything political aside, whether you are, right, left, in the middle, neither, no one as a cryptocurrency owner really wants to see those taxes go up to 50, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%. Whatever that gets decided on, who knows? It could be nothing. It could get thrown out the window. It could be double what we thought. I mean, at this point, anybody knows, but that's beside the point. The point here is that we now have so many different facets of our everyday lives: sports, players, ad endorsements, entry into entertainment, restaurants, all starting to accept cryptocurrency as a means of transaction and payment like we have never seen it before. Now, my bet is that this will continue to grow, and as businesses are going to be forced to start dealing with this. If their competitors start doing it and they get that kind of advantage and publicity from it, the other side of those competitors are going to be forced to do it just to keep up. That's just the way the business works. So we will see. There is a lot going on in this, a lot of cool articles and a lot happening in the world of Bitcoin. So many cool fundamentals happening in the news. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys like this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, as we have a lot more content coming out like this one. Sometimes we chart, sometimes we do news, we do fundamentals, we explain cryptocurrencies. So if you like that, stick around, hit the subscribe button, and throw me a comment in the comment section down below. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video.